Are back. I'm Lynn Whitbeck, the strategic sales queen and managing director of eWomen Network Greater Seattle. And I am really excited right now because I've got one of the most amazing women. She is 82 years young and a Spitfire, and she's going to be coming to the Greater Seattle chapter to speak at our community. And I want to introduce you to Susie Pruden, and she is got SusiePruden.com, Itty Bitty Publishing. What has she not done? She's going to be sharing the power of being known, not just in your industry, but in the world in general. Susie, I want to tell you, she's been on everything. She's been on Good Morning America. She's been on Oprah and the New York Times. The list is long. And she's going to talk to us about how publishing a book positions you as the expert in your field and gets you recognized as an authority. And you know what? I'm going to just start letting Susie say hello so that you can learn about her. Hi, Susie.
Hi there. It's really, really fun to be here. Thank you, Lynn.
Well, I am just thrilled to have you here. And, I'd love for you to share with the audience a little behind the scenes story of you and your business and what led you to be doing the work that you do today.
Lynn, it's an interesting story in that I I never imagined being a publisher. I've always published books. I mean, I've done 11 books with the traditional houses in New York. I've had several several businesses, and publishing just never occurred to me until my sister and I were talking about a book that we had done. We didn't know what we were doing. It was the only book that we self-published. It was in 2006. I had a weight loss studio I had 5 offices in Los Angeles, and I was taking a workshop with James Malinchek in Las Vegas, and he said, write a small book. Well, I've never written a small book. I've only written big books. So on the drive back, because I was in the weight loss industry, I said to my sister, why don't I write Susie Pruden's itty bitty weight loss book? And she said, okay. And because my name's been on everything since literally since 1965. We came back to LA. She wrote the book because I was running the business, and it bombed. We bought the 2000, I know, we bought the 2000 copies that you had to buy. I think that was 2006. I think I have 1,800 left in my garage. I mean, it was awful. So, yeah, I mean, the mistakes we make in business. So nothing happened. And then in 2014, I asked her to make it smaller and to change the cover. When she brought it to me, she brought me this book and she showed it to me, and I'm looking at it. She had taken my name off. It no longer said Susie Pruden's itty bitty weight loss book. It said your amazing itty bitty weight loss book. And my ego had a moment. And I said, are you sure you want to take my name off? And she said, I don't care. And I said, well, actually, we don't have to write the books, and this is $1 million business because my name isn't there. And literally, we were in business 3 days later, Lynn. We had our first signed author 2 weeks later. We had our first published book 6 weeks later. Now we just celebrated we've done 171 best-selling campaigns as of last Thursday. We have 171 bestsellers. I have compilation books. I have one-person books. And I teach people, and this is the important thing, because a lot of people say, well, you can use your book as a business card. Please don't do that. A book is a business builder. You can create a certification program. You can create webinars. You can create seminars. This itty bitty book is, if you use it correctly, $1 million business for each author. One of my authors, Anthony Camacho, who wrote a book on sales, he took his book and in 2.5 years grew his company from 100,000 to $750,000 a year. Everybody who has an expertise can do that. If you have an expertise and you create a little book, whether it's an itty bitty book or another book, although I prefer itty bitty because that's my company, you can grow your business hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's a marketing tool. It's a business. It's a container. You can do so many different things with it. And that's what I do now. And my whole focus is what can I do for my authors to help them grow their business? Book sales, yes, but it's beyond book sales, it's business.
Yeah, absolutely. What I really like about this is you just sort of talked about that, you serve authors, you serve business owners. And I'd love to hear from your perspective when they start working with you. What are they usually struggling with? Is it to even come up with an idea for the book or how to write a book? Or is it how to take something they already have and really leverage it? Or is it
What
all
we
the above?
it's actually all of the above. But so a book, okay, so a book gets you seen, and a book gets you media, a book gets you speaking opportunities, a book gets you visibility at conferences. Um, as soon as you say you have a book, people pay more attention. I have a very dear friend who has a podcast. She says if she gets two people with the same topic, she will, excuse me, take the one with the book because it shows that they have already done the work to position themselves. They're more likely to have a better program than someone who hasn't done a book.
Yeah.
And it really positions you as the expert. Um, and people pay attention to people with books.
Yeah.
And the book can teach people. So here I've got a book that is QuickBooks terminology. So if someone wants to learn about QuickBooks, they buy this itty bitty book. What interesting, what happened with Barbara Starley, the author, she was at a national QuickBooks convention when her book came out. And she was in an elevator, I don't know where she was going, which
Yeah.
event, talking to a gentleman. She was so excited about her book. I mean, it's like, I have a book, I have a book. And he said to her, so, well, what do you need? She said, I need to talk to the person in charge of booking your speakers for your national convention. He said, you're talking to him. And she now speaks at the National Convention of QuickBooks, which has given her position, opportunity, and of course, more clients.
Yeah.
That's what it can do. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So you just described for one person what changes for them after they work for you, with you.
Right.
What outcomes or results do your authors and business owners are they able to experience?
Well, another wonderful story is a woman who's a hypnotherapist, and she still does. She's an early author. She came out a number of years ago. She wrote a book on self hypnosis, and she wrote it for the people that she was working with who had to change the way they thought so that they wouldn't go back into the life that they had
Yeah,
escaped from.
right.
She was doing it for free every Friday. She wrote the book and got a $25,000 grant
Yeah,
to do that same work. There's so many different things that you can do. I have Mary Zenit is a health coach, and she talks about people's health. So now they have a book that they can refer to, which says, if you're experiencing this, do this. And so when people have an expertise, my, my company focuses on entrepreneurs, business owners, coaches, speakers, so that the people that they want to talk to have a book so that they can learn about what it is that my authors, what their expertise is. So all of the itty bitty books are basically teaching opportunities, which then lead to the reader contacting the author to do business with them. Bottom line is your book, this is my sticky, your book is a business builder. And
yeah.
you- and so and I just started, you're going to love this. I just started something new this year. We're now doing embedded videos in the book. So when people buy the book online, they click a link. If they buy it as a paperback, they click the QR code, takes them right away to an interview with the author. And we talk about the author, we talk about what the author is doing and what their latest programs are. So
Right.
your book is your lead gen. And it creates the person who wants to do business with you as a as a viable lead rather than a wishful thinking lead.
Yeah.
That's what a
Yeah.
book is. Because, we can all purchase leads, but that doesn't mean it leads to the actual client.
Oh,
You want a warm lead. So when someone is thinking about doing business with you, they've got your book and now they've got the interview and they go, yes, that's the person I want to do business with.
yeah. That's so true. I mean, there is a huge difference when people talk about leads. The core idea is you need quality leads. You need the leads that
Absolutely.
are really good fit for you and your business that you
Yes.
can help and serve. So, Susie, I'm curious, of course, because, you know, you've been in business for a long time. You've, as a
60
woman business
years.
owner, yeah.
60 years.
Yeah, as a woman business owner, what is one growth lesson you've learned that other women entrepreneurs could benefit from?
Always say yes. I mean, okay, so here's when I was creating my first company, I was a fitness expert in New York City. And I was 22 years old when I started my company. In my 5 flight walk up in Greenwich Village, people got in shape getting up to my apartment. And I moved to the Upper West Side. I had a baby, and a woman called. I had like 2 clients a week. I mean, it was a baby business. But my mother was a fitness expert. I knew how to teach exercise. Getting a job in New York, I didn't have any skills. I ran away to get married when I was 19. I mean, talk about, creating a difficult challenge. Anyway, I had this new business fitness expert. And a woman called me and said, do you teach 2-year-olds? And I said, no, but I have one. She said, would you teach 2-year-olds? I said, yes. And I called my mother okay, that was a Tuesday. Thursday, the following Thursday, I had 6 2-year-olds in my apartment. It was not the 5 flights up. It was actually ground floor when I moved to the Upper West Side. I have to tell you, Lynn, I parlayed those 6 kids into $1 million business because I said yes. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to do it. I figured it out. I was sort of like I learned how to fly the plane as I was flying it. And I started with 6 kids in my living room. Then it was 7 kids. Then it was 8 kids. Then I had to move to my own little studio on the Upper West Side. And I had 10 kids. And then I had a mother child class. And then I had a women's class. And then, and this is important, one of my members of a class said, may I bring a guest to show her this class? I said, yes. I didn't know at the time that it was a reporter from the New York Times. So I have 10 kids. I had no idea what to expect. It was a guest. She brought a photographer. I hadn't washed my hair. I wasn't wearing makeup. I had a hole in my tights. And I didn't say, no, you can't come in. I'm not dressed properly. I don't have my makeup. I They came in. 2 weeks later, there was a 3/4 page article in the New York Times. There's a hole in my tights. And 3 pictures. So the day that that article was a Thursday came out, um, I had 10 kids. That was a Thursday. The following Monday, I had 75. So what I want people to know is make friends with the media. They need us as much as we need them. They need stories. We need to be out there. I Because my name was well known, Susie Pruden, even though I had only just started in business, and this is a wonderful story. I got a call from ABC. Now, I didn't know anybody at ABC, but they knew me because of my name. Would you like to come down to the studio and do a radio interview? Yes. Hello. Yes. I had only done one radio interview in my life before. I went to the radio studio. The woman who came out of the actual recording booth reached for my hand, said, how do you do? My name is Barbara Walters.
Oh,
I know. I didn't, I mean, I just kept saying yes. And when you do that, then people start to know who you are. You get booked, you get your book, you get on stages, people begin to know you, and then they start to trust you, and then they like you, and then they buy from you. This is a marketing tool. I keep
yeah.
putting my sticky back on. I'll put it over here. Just tell me what to do.
Your next step for the day.
Exactly. I've got a whole pile here. And then I have compilation books. I did one with E-Women where 15 E-Women authors um, all wrote a chapter in the book. So now they can say I have a best-selling author. I am a best-selling author because we did a best-selling campaign for the book. A
Yeah.
book positions you. A book holds you as an authority. People pay more attention to you when you have a book. And it's so great. I have people sending me their they take a video of when their books arrive, when their 20 copies arrive, showing us, they put it on Facebook and stuff, them opening their books. It's exciting to receive your book as an author
Yeah.
because you feel special. You did it.
Yeah.
You did it. So I love what we do with Itty Bitty was I have a workshop every month on Saturday and Sunday to help people write their books, whether it's an itty bitty book or a legacy press book. I have several publishing companies. And Itty Bitty is a very specific book. Then I have Legacy Press, which is a bigger book. I also have Little Dog Press, which is a children's book company. And I never thought I mean, it didn't even occur to me. Publishing? I only write books. I don't publish books. Now I publish books.
Yeah. Well, I love the fact that you segue briefly there um, to the next area I wanted to talk about which is why being in the right business community matters, and especially for women entrepreneurs.
When you're in the right community, as I feel I am with E-Women, I get to speak with and do business with people who want to make, and this is why I love this company so much, people who want to make a difference in the world.
Yeah.
Sandra Yancey and Kim Yancey have created a business. It's not a give back business in that that's not all that they do, but they give so much back to the communities. And all of us in that I work with and know and I'm friends with in E-Women, we're always looking for basically how can I help you?
Yeah.
How can I make a difference in your life? This is how you can make a difference in my life, but how can I make a difference in yours? And the wonderful thing about my experience at E-Women, and I've been a member for 13 years now, and that says something about an organization if I
Yeah.
keep showing up for 13 years. And and I go to a lot of the different chapters. I speak at a lot of the different chapters. I have friends and I have business with a lot of the E-Women members. It's so funny when I first joined, people said, well, if you don't get any business, at least you'll make a lot of friends. And my immediate response was, I don't want to make a lot of friends. I want to make a lot of business opportunities. And you get both.
Yeah.
But a lot of business. I do a lot of business in E-Women. And I love doing business. I love doing business with E-Women members with their business as well as with my business. So it's a give and take. And it's always let me introduce you to, if you see that two people are going to be able to do business with each other. I love bringing new members into E-Women because it means the organization is growing. I don't get anything from that except a thank you, which is a very nice thing to get. Last year I got Matchmaker of the Year, which is a big deal. Big
Yeah.
deal. And I didn't do it for that. I do it because I know that the organization is going to make a difference to the person that I invite to join, and that she's going to make a difference for the people who are already members. And it is a community. You can go anywhere. I'm going to be, let's see, I'm going to speak in New Jersey in November, speaking in Santa Barbara in October. I just spoke at Phoenix, Orange County, Tucson, Connecticut, and now I'm speaking for you in Seattle. I can't wait.
I know. That's a great thing. I mean, we have chapters across the US and Canada and Mexico and United Kingdom now. And
Yes,
I think you just spoke to about how eWomen Network and the community has supported your business journey. I mean, you had a solid go-to hack business to begin with, but to your point, you've been a member, you've been active for 13 years. Last year, you were Matchmaker of the Year, which is a very big deal. And
And I
community
also,
matters.
community matters, and I also had a 30-minute talk, which is not,
Oh, it was so good. Oh my gosh. Sorry.
I had so much fun. I had so much fun at that talk. And it was so funny. I called Kim. I thought I had failed.
Oh,
And
it was so good.
well, because I didn't make any sales. And I
Right.
always, I didn't make any sales. So I called Tim and I said, Kim, and we were talking. I said, I thought I failed you. He said, Susie, I couldn't remember any other talk. And I said, but I didn't make any sales. He said, Susie, you weren't supposed to, because you have to build in the sales piece. He said, you did exactly what you were supposed to do. I tell you, I had so much fun. That was one of my best talks ever.
You
Yeah,
were. It was the only one I remember from that day. It was so good. And it was like all of a sudden, it was like, holy. I mean, it just absolutely stood out. And I felt so connected to you and that was the first time I'd ever seen you.
interesting. Yeah, that's a lot
Yeah.
of people. I have a lot of, what happened is I now have a lot of authors because that's the first time they saw me and we connected afterwards, which is actually how I like doing business, is to connect afterwards. So I can really find out how I can support you as an author.
Yeah.
I really, and I don't take everybody. There are some people who I know have no business writing a book because they're not ready for it.
Yeah.
And I don't want people taking loans to write a book,
Yeah.
because there are
Well,
no guarantees with book sales. I mean, it's a process and you have to work it. Like any part of your business, you have to work it.
yeah. Yeah. Well, everything about business and, within the sales strategy of that, and a book in this case is a piece of strategy.
Yep.
It's the same way with intentionally networking.
Yep.
Networking is a sales strategy, and it's really important. What I found over the years, I did a lot of networking that didn't serve me. It was transactional, or it felt that way. People just wanted something, or they wanted to sell at you. There was no collaboration. There was no desire to get to know you, to actually build a relationship. And that is one of the reasons that I love creating the room and the sense of the Greater Seattle chapter, where business owners can truly connect, collaborate, and grow together. And
And really the best part about it, Lynn, is the connection,
yeah,
because it may not start um, immediately, but it grows over time.
yeah,
I've got people that I've known in eWomen. I've known them for 5 years who are just now doing a book. And when I joined eWomen, I was not a publisher. I was still doing coaching and hypnosis. So I was a coach. And then created this new business, and now I'm a publisher, and so now I talk about publishing.
yeah,
And it works and people are happy and I'm happy and the company is growing and eWomen is growing. It's so much fun to be part of an organization where not only can I go to my local chapter on a regular basis, but I can go to any other chapter in the country, not necessarily as a speaker, but as a member.
yeah,
So I go to Las Vegas because I have other business in Las Vegas, and I make it around when the chapter's having a meeting. I'm doing the same thing in New York. I do the same thing in Dallas. So if I've got business in Dallas, then I look at, okay, Tony has her chapter on the third Thursday of the month. I make sure my business is that week. It,
yeah,
it makes sense.
yeah. It does. I mean, it's just, when you are a member of all of eWomen.
Yes.
And so, you know, with your upcoming, you're just going to be here in Seattle, and you're going to be talking on July 9th, which is Thursday, a week and a
Next
few
week.
days away. Yeah.
Next week.
Yeah. Next week, Thursday, the July 9th. Who do you think should be in the room, Susie?
That is a wonderful women and a few good men who really want to grow their business, who want to make a difference in the world, who have a passion for what they do. That's the beauty of it. And I spoke last year at Icon, and I received that. award, it was the reason I do what I do when I invite my friends to become members of eWomen. It's because they want to grow their businesses, and the people in the room will benefit from them being there. It's really, if if you have a business and you want it to grow and you have a passion for what you do, and you know that what you do makes a difference in the world, never mind your pocket, in the world, because your pocket's important, obviously, but in the world, you got to be there.
Yeah.
Your your client is in the room, and you will you will be with people who of your mindset. You know, it's as an entrepreneur, we are a very unique breed. We talk differently. I remember in this was the 80s, this is a bazillion years ago. And I had divorced my husband and I was on a date. And I was going to dinner at the mutual friend we who introduced us. And it was at the mutual friend's house. And I'm a businesswoman. I'm a fitness expert. I had this a West Side studio, an East Side studio, a summer camp in East Hampton, books, television. I mean, I'm a businesswoman. And it was so interesting because I'd never experienced this. So it's as the evening wore on, the two groups of people sort of went off. The women went in one direction and the guys went over here. And I, of course, was off traipsing with the women, and we were talking about drapes. I was not interested in drapes. I mean, that's not where I focused my attention. So I thought, well, let me go see what the men are talking about. So I went, and they were talking about football. And I said, well, that's not my interest either, but they had some really good music on. So I danced. I just went off by myself and I danced because I didn't want to talk about drapes. I didn't want to talk about football. You know, if you're talking about the market and it's a different conversation.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs, we live in a different mindset. So again, you asked me who should come next week. If you're looking for people who you can have a conversation with and it's related to business and it will support you in your business, whether they become a client or not, it's just the ideas are different.
Yeah.
And it's exciting. And it's like, you do what? I want to do that. How do I do that? I was on a mastermind call this morning and we were talking about a new app. And I think there were 30 of us on the call. And we're all scribbling down the information. And I think half the room before the end of the mastermind had already purchased it because it was something to support us in our business.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that's a key thing here too, because it's really for women and men who want to build real relationships, gain those fresh ideas, and be in a room where people consistently show up and they show up for one another because your client may not be in the room, but the person who knows your client, they
Yep.
are in the room.
Yep.
So I can
Yep.
guarantee you that.
And it's a phone call away.
Yeah.
It's a phone call away. And that's your best friend.
Yeah.
It's your phone.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just how we build. And I agree also the other piece is the core values of the that we're serious business owners that want to be collaborative, we want to be supportive, and we come together. And it's that to me has always been that the specialness
Mhm.
about eWomen Network.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we do it differently. It's not how you do. I'm Susie Pruden. Here's my card. It's like it's a totally different mindset. Yes, you want people to want your card, but you don't want to shove it at them because you don't want every card, and no, not everybody wants your card.
I
So
know.
it's like
Yeah.
it's self-select. You
Yeah.
know, you get a choice to, oh, I'd like to do business with that person,
I like to get to know them better,
and
understand what they do and who they help and serve, so I know who to introduce them to.
how can I support them?
Yeah.
Because my network, I have a lot of people in my network that could support someone in that room.
Yeah.
my friendship network as well as my itty bitty network. Um, yeah, how can we all grow together? That's really what it is. It's how can we all
Yeah.
grow together?
Yeah.
We support each other to grow, and it's interesting. And I love eWomen for this. It doesn't. They don't self-select in terms of there are other publishers in eWomen. I have a publisher on my call on Tuesday night. I do an author call every
Yeah.
Tuesday night where I invite people to come and speak. And tomorrow night I have another publisher coming to talk. She doesn't compete with me. Her process is completely different. And so I thought, let me introduce her to my network. There may be somebody there who can benefit, and then they can benefit from each other.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so in eWomen, there are other publishers, there are other sales coaches, there are other, I mean, we're how many there are like 80,000 members. It's huge. It's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, there's always room. There's room for all of us, and that's
Yeah,
one of the key things too. Is the and you know what my do as my side of sales consulting is very different than somebody who is actually truly like a sales mindset coach. Helping
right,
people get over their ish for having the conversation, whereas I focus on creating a consistent, repeatable, and scalable sales process, the actual
right,
strategy, the roadmap. And so, very different. And that's okay. And also, then there's just different types. Like, I'm very much focused on relationships. There are some people who are focused on like a one call close. So, of course, that's sort of like not eWomen, but it's definitely not me. So,
yeah,
oh
and
my.
it's an opportunity to. Um, I I I really look forward to the meetings. I
Yeah.
drive an hour and 15 minutes down to Orange County every month, and I look forward to it because I see people there every month that I like.
Yeah.
Whether
Yeah.
I do business with them or not, I like them.
Yeah.
And so,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a well, if I didn't like it, I wouldn't stay a member for 13 years. That speaks for itself. And I wouldn't invite my friends
Yeah.
to become because it's not expensive, but it's not but it costs.
Yeah.
And then you have and that this is new this last year when Sandra now who created eWomen with her husband Kim, she gets on a call every Monday morning at 8 o'clock to teach us all business
Yeah.
because none of us know everything.
Yeah.
For any, I mean, and she's created a multi-million-dollar business, and she's giving us all the tools so that we can too. Some of us
Yeah.
will, and some of us won't get that far. But she's so funny. She said because their whole system is she wants to have this organization create 1 million women making $1 million a year, not over time a year. And she said, would it be okay if you only make 750,000? You know, 500,000? I mean, sure. And so no matter, and it's the other thing, Lynn, which is so important is people can come in at any level.
Yeah.
So you've got people who are making 40 and $50,000 a year. You've got people who are making many millions of dollars every year, and you've got everybody in between.
Yeah.
And it's not, well, you don't make enough money, and therefore, I've been in an organization like that. It was like, wait a second, I'm paying the same amount of money to be in this organization as the millionaire. Why do I feel like less than? So I don't belong there anymore. But this organization, you're welcome, period.
Yeah. Yeah. And all levels of, even within our chapter, we have some one member who hasn't started her business yet. She's still working her corporate career, but this community is something that she's already thriving in, and she's already making strides to start her dream business that
Right.
she's always wanted.
Yep.
And then we have the veterans who have established businesses for over 30 years,
Yep.
and so it's that's one of the other things that I really think is important because the it's a big tent, it's a big room.
It's a big
So
one.
yeah, Well, Susie, thank you so much. And I'm so excited. I get to pick you up at the airport and bring you in. And I am so excited to have you on July 9th speaking at the Greater Seattle chapter of eWomen Network. I dropped it in the chat for anybody who's interested in joining us there.
I hope that- I
Please
hope
do.
who's ever watching and listening to this, please come check it out. It's a wonderful organization. The other thing I wanted to mention, and I just looked at the time and I have a client that I have to race off to, but before I go, um, when I joined eWomen, I was a coach and I changed my business. It's like I changed horses and it worked. I mean, and I was supported completely in my change. So you get the support you need. And if you come in with one business and it's not working and you want to change, you can. If it's not working and you want it to work, you'll get help there. I mean, it's wherever you are.
Yeah, in your
That's
journey.
in your journey, and the support is there.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Susie. It's been such a pleasure. I will see you in a week when I pick you up at the airport,
Yeah.
and I'll see everyone who can make it and get to meet Susie in person at our July 9th luncheon. Okay, bye bye, everyone.
Bye bye, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Lynn.